Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another rousing game of the Sept of the Howling Winds Werewolf the Apocalypse 20th Anniversary Edition. Today, Jong Lee has decided that he is going to take the next step on his Fostern challenge. Unfortunately for Jong Lee, or perhaps fortunately, he has decided that there is only one way to do this. There's only one way to convince an advisor to the High King or former High King that this is the path he needs to take to challenge for Truthcatcher. This could also be potentially the last time Zhong Li will get a snarky word in edgewise. For he has decided that the path of neither wisdom nor honor will bring this to victory, but rather glory. In the famous words of Adelheid, YOLO. And with that, Zhong Li is currently tightening up his tie, smoothing out his suit, and walking across the cairn, seeking the elder.
So you're gonna love this. The elder, known as Eli, is sitting by the lake, and this motherfucker is knitting and just enjoying himself.
Knitting.
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 He
Like
is knitting.
like the two large needle
Uh huh.
knitting, not like
Yep.
point knit. Okay.
He's knitting. He knits as a hobby. He rather enjoys it.
Okay. Uh
Not
so
what you expected, I'm sure.
not what he expected at all, but path of glory this shall be. Uh so he walks forward, brings himself upright, looks at Eli. He who knocks it. Uh, he who knocks is the full deed name. Yes.
Yep. It's he who knocks.
He who knocks Raya.
He looks up.
The fate of the nation is at stake. Corruption, forces beyond our sept are at the door. One might even say there are wolves there.
He blinks and looks to Zhongli. Wait, like, what fucking nonsense are you talking? Like,
The
that's the look on his
apocalypse
face.
is nigh. Darkness is covering the land, and Zhong Li is actually doing hand motions with all this. Um, Luna is looking down upon us and seeks a champion. He who knocks Raya. Only you can save the entire Guru nation.
So he has this amused look on his face as he looks at Zhongli. And out of character, the ST is fucking dying. Like,
The voice of prophecy has come before you, showing you an option that will allow you, an elder of our sept, the way to harmony with Gaia and all of Earth.
so how about you not church up whatever it is the fuck that you want and just tell me?
It was worth a shot.
I admire your way with words. However, I don't believe in that bullshit, so why don't you just tell me what you want?
He nods. By the end of this conversation, all I want is a yes.
Oh, we'll see. Depends on what it is. He pats the spot next to him, like, sit down.
Jong Lee takes a seat. By the end of this, you will understand that the time has come for you to challenge for Truth Catcher.
Kind of like he does a bit of a double take, like a record scratch. His eyes widen just a little bit, and he's like, "Why? Why would I want?" I spent years dealing with the nation's bullshit, being the right hand of the High King, and I'm rather enjoying not really dealing with everyone's bullshit right now. So why would I want to go back to doing that? I realize that Arcept is in danger. There are some mad fucking Silver Fangs out there, and some Shadow Lords too that they got on side with them, and I'm absolutely more than willing to help with that. But dealing with everybody's little squabbles because someone stole their goddamn sweet roll is not really something I'm interested in doing.
Well, he who knocks Raya, you've asked me two questions then. One, why? On a personal level, you should do it. Personal level being your personal. And then, why, in a broader, more general sense, should you do it? I've already explained the more broad and general sense. You stopped me before I could get to the part about you being a child of Falcon and the honor it could bring, and so on and so forth in ad nauseum. But I believe you get the gist of my initial uh, reasoning.
I will listen, as it is the age old duty of Philodox to listen when a Ragabash speaks. So he kind of spreads his hands. You have the floor.
Personally, I don't think you have a single reason to want the post. There is no amount of wealth or knowledge or mystical bartering that would convince you that that would be the correct course of action to take. Were that the case, then I believe your peers, your friends, your family would have convinced you to at least make an attempt for the position by this point. So, in answer to your question, there is no reason for you to do it.
Except that it is my duty as an elder Philodox to take up the mantle of Truth Catcher because that's what I'm supposed to fucking do, right?
Elder, half moon, child of Falcon, member of the Sept in good standing,
He rolls his eyes and shakes his head like, "Oh my fucking god, why?"
former advisor to the office of High King, though that is just me embellishing the situation a little bit.
I know who I am. I know what I've done. But if I didn't have those merits, if I was stripped of all of that and just me, Elijah Petrova, a Philodox, why would you want me in the position of Truth Catcher? Never mind all of the formality bullshit, who I'm tied to, what my heritage is, what I've done in the past. That doesn't fucking matter. Why me, Elijah Petrova, do you want to be Truth Catcher? Why?
Jong Lee looks at the ground for a second, then looks up. towards the moon. My name is Backwards Compatibility. It's a tongue-in-cheek deed name, something that my tribe is known for. By now, I believe word has gotten around of what I'm capable of at this sept.
He'll incline his head as if to say, yeah, he's heard.
I am a Cleath, a member of a pack, a beta, in fact. I follow Lion. I am named by some as ally. I don't believe anyone at the sept would yet call me friend. If you take all of that away and you say, me, Jong Lee, no moon, why should I be anything? The answer would be, then I'm not me anymore, so why would I care? All those titles that you are known for, frankly, between you and me, I don't care about.
Well, he definitely appreciates that. There's a bit of a look that comes across his face that he appreciates that. Absolutely.
What I care about are the actions that those titles represent. I would no more bow before the Alpha the Sept for just being the Alpha the Sept than I would the Alpha of my pack for just being the Alpha of my pack. It is rather instead the actions that those titles represent that I respect. I mean, that's why we tell the stories we do, right?
He'll nod.
So to say, taking away all of what I have just put forward as a reason, and all that I'm left with is Elijah Petrova, Half Moon, would be to say, don't look at any of my actions, which is the only thing I have to judge another person by, whether guru or otherwise.
I suppose that's fair. I just. If I take up a position on the sept, especially one such as Truth Catcher, one that is public, out there, my actions have brought the result of a lot of change in this nation. I facilitated, condoned, supported the change of the litany. I helped write it. I have supported every decision that Jonas Albrecht has made, and even convinced him to make some of the decisions he has made. There could very well be a target on my head. And if people publicly find where I'm at, that could bring more strife and misery to the sept. My actions have consequences. And I've yet to see the result personally for me of those. Am I willing to pay the price? Absolutely. If I was not willing to die for my causes, I would not have made them the forefront of my life. I would not have done things that I've done if I wasn't willing to die for them. However, I'm not willing to put the entire sept at more risk because of it.
Then you're not willing to accept the consequence of your actions, he says, looking over.
I tell you what, with all of that in mind, you go get the support of the majority of the sept for me to be in that position, and I will challenge for it. If everyone is willing to take the risk, he shrugs, then fine.
Jong Lee chuckles. Do you know what I consider to be the most important part of being a foster in No Moon?
What's that?
Saving the wildest and craziest thing I have ever done for a very special occasion.
He raises his eyebrow.
He shrugs. I'm a traditionalist. I prefer to not rock the boat, yet that is my job, isn't it?
Indeed, it is. He nods. He's like, in his head, he's going, fucking ragabashes, I swear to God. Hate them. Even though he's married to one, he hates him too. But you hear the way they talk to each other. But great.
Yeah, I'm not going to insult anyone's intelligence. I know you've heard of how I am and how I save my words, but you've noticed I've been talking a lot. Even someone like myself has to work themselves, warm themselves up for their main act and their main performance. I am proud to say that not just glory, but honor and wisdom have become the hallmarks of my stay here at this sept. But sometimes the wisest course of action is the most foolish one. I call bullshit on what you just told me, that I should get the permission, the support of everyone, the majority even, at the sept.
He narrows his eyes. Zhong Li can tell that it's just probably another way for him to try to get out of it.
I also say that you have told me the truth. You feel that you are willing to take responsibility for your actions.
Nods.
Then why not do it?
He takes a deep breath. He thinks for a moment, waiting for him to catch up with my brain.
Zhong Li will stand up at that point and stretch his back out. Your actions have already put us into a war, caused strife within the sept. revolutionized a nation. Your advice, your decisions have put us in a position of great honor and great change. Your actions have allowed me to attempt to become a foster of the nation. They've also put me in a position where I am undertaking actions that could result in my death.
I suppose by becoming truth catcher, it would be the person that everyone would look to, not just mediating disputes between each other, but for any advice, opinions on the laws would be my chance to defend what I've put forth. Expand upon it. He chews his lip. No one knows that litany better than me. Except maybe Jonas. We wrote it together.
The former High King.
He nods.
Then no one knows it better than you.
Isadora is a judge of doom. However, she is a Galliard and also Beta of the Sept. Her pulling double duty probably doesn't look the best on us as a Sept either. It shows that we don't have any capable Philodoxes of doing the job. He closes his eyes. Jong Lee can tell that he's pretty close to being resigned to challenging for the position. Like, just putting everything together in his head, he's realizing that okay, I will challenge her for the position.
I appreciate that, he who knocks Raya. Conversely, I believe it is time then for me, should all things go as he chuckles. Go as you have foreseen. You're right to say that I would also be responsible for the consequences of such actions.
Everything that is set in motion is never done alone. There's always someone there next to you, behind you, in front of you, whatever. Helping, pushing, supporting, opposing. The actions of one person has a ripple effect on many and always has an influence from somebody else. So, yeah, I will hold you personally responsible for my ascension to Truthcatcher should that happen. Gives a
May I?
grin.
He nods. And may I inquire who the worm foe is?
The
Per-
worm foe of the Sept is bears the scale. Gabrielle Krykos. She is Adrian Black Fury Rune.
he nods his head. Well then, I guess I will need to speak with her and drop by with a series of intelligence that will keep this sept safe so as to bear my burden of responsibility.
He nods. Thank you, Jong Lee. Backwards compatibility.
It is always my pleasure to serve the sept and Gaia, he who knocks, Raya.
He goes back to his knitting. In thought.
And Jong Lee will saunter off, feeling slightly emboldened, but now thinking to himself, okay, that went way better than I anticipated. Now I have a new problem. I need to go find Isadora, and I'm gonna have to go in blind. Fuck it.
Just do it.
Yeah, he
All,
is.
all or nothing, man. All or nothing.
That's what he's doing now because he's like, damn it, because he now doesn't know when Elijah, because Elijah's a little unpredictable. He doesn't know if he's going to challenge today, tomorrow, 5 seconds from now. So he's just thinking out loud. John Lee mutters, "All right, Veronica Raya, I appreciate your thoroughness, but if when we speak next, I am going to be very insistent that um, we set up timetables next time." He is going to go find Izzy.
Hey, Izzy's at the Karen Hart. We find her overlay. This is gonna be so good. She is at the Karen Hart communing with Fog. There we go. She will she'll notice Zhongli. Uh
Uh, so Jong Lee is going to very openly be approaching her. His hands are in his trench coat pockets. All hail, stares down the devil Raya, gibbous moon, grandchild of thunder, beta of our sept, judge of doom, present truth catcher.
got an amused look on her face. She looks
Long may you reign in the eyes of Gaia. Your beauty knows no bounds or comparison.
she tilts her head. She says, Zhongli, please. I appreciate the sentiment, but I really would not just stop with the flattery. What's going on?
The first lesson I've ever learned when it came to a stealthy approach is you have to learn what the best cover is for your approach, the best concealment.
She'll smirk. That's fair.
So, you're probably asking yourself, Why is Jong Lee standing here? And how bad does it have to be that he is using honorifics and various forms of flattery?
She taps her lip. Indeed.
Then you're asking yourself, why would the one of the most secretive members of the sept, who says so little, not only continue talking after you said I see, but also tell you that that likely was part of his less than brilliant plan?
She actually gives a little bit of a chuckle, and she'll nod.
Well, maybe I've been possessed by the spirit of Aiden.
Oh my.
Or perhaps I have taken to heart the wisdom of Adelheid and YOLO.
Oh my.
It could also be that I don't believe lightning strikes the same place twice, and I am testing that theory while in the presence of a grandchild of thunder.
She'll nod. Fair.
But you would be wrong, 'cause it's none of the above. It's because I believe that you are about to be challenged for the position of truth catcher.
She'll nod. Okay.
As I am not feeling suicidal enough today, it is not me.
I appreciate that. Yes.
But I believe the one who is going to challenge you, that you would figure out very quickly who was perhaps behind the suggestion.
Mm, I see.
And then you'd be asking yourself, not why, but what can I do to this young Cleath to perhaps get it home that manipulating elders is not his providence.
And that, Jong Lee, is where you would be wrong.
He has a half smile at that point. I guess my obfuscation isn't working as well as I was hoping, so then I guess time to cut straight to the chase. This is not part of my challenge, but I was hoping. I was hoping that perhaps you would go a little easier on the challenge. Not throwing it, but
She kind of narrows her eyes a little bit. And why would I want to do that?
for the same reason that I even accepted the challenge in the first place. I think we could use he who knocks Raya in the position of truth catcher.
She nods very slowly. And she'll look around, look to him. I actually very much agree with you on that. When we moved around the position, He refused when I asked. So thank you for convincing him. You have the Philodox who crafted the new litany as our truth catcher is definitely it's in our better interest. I know that I'm catching a lot of grief for being a galliard in the position. So thank you. I will give him a challenge, but not one he can't win.
Well, then it appears my work here is done.
It's a shame you're a glasswalker. You would make an excellent child of Grandfather Thunder.
Jong Lee has a slight quirk to his eyebrows.
He'll also remember that Grandfather Thunder himself pretty much said the same thing, that he was sad that he's not part of his brood.
I believe, unfortunately, the one thing I lack would be ambition.
She furrows her brow and looks to him. You aren't giving yourself enough credit. You have plenty of ambition. Feel it. Radiates from you. You might not think that you do because maybe your goals are different than what you would think a Shadow Lord might have, but that's where you would be wrong. You've got plenty of ambition.
Jong Lee will pause at that.
Not everybody exhibits their ambition loudly the way that Veronica or some others might. I never did.
Veronica Raya is a rare ally to have.
She'll nod. Her father is one of my very dear friends and former mentor.
That does explain a lot more about my challenge.
Oh,
I was wondering what the end game for others were.
she smirks a bit. Who gave you your challenge?
Looks up. There's only one no moon, grandchild of thunder, who I can think of.
She fucking smirks. Because she knows exactly who he's talking about. I see.
It would seem, Raya, that in my haste to determine whether or not I should take up the challenge based upon the merits of the outcome for the sept, I didn't think fully through the ramifications of why such a challenge was being put before me. I believe the
Shadow.
phrase is I have been played.
She... One second. She fucking grins at Jong Lee. We're Shadow Lords. She nods. You have been. You have been used as a pawn in an effort to further the goals of others. And that is the way Shadow Lords generally work. And I can't say that I am upset by this turn of events. So that is where I suppose you might breathe a sigh of relief because I am not offended.
Only a fool lacks fear in his heart when facing a storm. A courageous man continues to walk towards it, however, regardless of how heavy his feet become.
She nods.
And in doing so, I get to walk away with a greater degree of wisdom.
If I can ever impart more upon you, let me know.
I live to serve the will of the sept.
She nods.
Thank you for your time, Raya, he says, giving a short but not deep bow.
She inclines her head. Of course. I always have time for anyone who wishes. Especially the younger ones.
Fair warning. I'll take that as a fair warning.
She gives a bit of a smile. And she'll go back to communing with Fog.
Jong Lee is going to walk away and is making a mental note to himself as he does so, stopping to pull out his dagger and kind of gaze upon it for a little bit. So, even the elders need intelligence on me. I need to up my game. And with that, he would continue walking off the set. I think that's a good stopping point.
Yep.
All right.
Great.
Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. And have another good day.